Hello, and thank you for joining us for another installment of NEC Suites, where we interview local leaders from across Central Florida to help our small business community. This year, we're stepping away from our traditional interview setting and having these conversations while doing an activity or hobby of our guests. Today, we have the privilege of interviewing Cristina Lehman, the Executive Director of Addition Financial's Foundation and the Director of Public Relations for Addition Financial's Credit Union. Thank you, Cristina, for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. So you do pickleball.
I do.
Tell us, what is this sport, this mystical sport that seems to be all the rage? We're here at Katy Way in Winter Park. There are 8 different courts, and every single one of them
in the middle of the day, no doubt.
I know, so impressive.
Like, I want to be these people. I can come play well, I guess we are today. Today we are. Pickleball actually started for us, for my husband and I, a couple months ago, and we have just fallen in love. And I will say that now I have a true appreciation for tennis players, because we only use about a third of the court or half of the court, and it is exhausting. So I can't wait to teach you a little bit about it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So you have a very impressive role being the Executive Director of Addition Financial Foundation, and then obviously leading the public relations side for the credit union. But tell us a little about the journey. What was that like? What was your professional journey to get to that role?
Are you ready? Because it's going to take about 20 minutes.
No, and that's what we want. So ultimately, entrepreneurs will wear different hats.
Yeah.
And everyone has had to wear a myriad of different hats to get to, in essence, the CEO role of a foundation in your case. So, want to learn what was your trajectory?
Oh man, you know, Belinda, first and foremost, entrepreneurs are the most incredible people on this planet. Like, I do not have the courage to do what they do every single day, and I just honor everything that they do. Backtracking, so I graduated from UCF with a radio TV degree with a minor in marketing, and then I started in the radio business. I then worked for a production company in town. I did casting for reality shows for MTV and VH1. Yeah.
Oh, they were here often, weren't they?
Yes.
In the Orlando market. I remember that.
So that was super fun. And then I worked government. I did Orange County Parks and Recreation. I did marketing and public relations for them. And then I just ended up being a media buyer of all things for like a year. And I had my quarter life crisis. And I'm like, what am I doing with myself? And I became a high school teacher for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And I taught television and entrepreneurship. I taught the intro of entrepreneurship class for high schoolers.
What high school?
I was at Lake Howell High School for 7 years.
My brother and sister graduated.
No way! Go Silverhawks! Always a Silverhawk. So I was there for 7 years, and it ends up that my former boss at Orange County moved to SCPS and kind of created a role that he wanted me to do. So I ended up doing comms and marketing for the entire school district.
Oh, wow.
So I did that so I was at the school district for 10 and a half years, and then this position came up at the credit union to be a marketing manager.
Okay.
And I took that, and I did that for 4 years, and I had another what do I want to do with myself? And I noticed marketing wasn't for me anymore. So I proposed a public relations team to my CEO, and he said, let's do it. And then I also want you to be the executive director of the foundation. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. And I've learned, and I'm so curious about you, that I've learned in the past, I felt like my outgoingness and my empathy was not a strength, because all my bosses were men, and that was just not a strength that they had. So it's something I didn't think that it was a strength for me.
Well, it's kind of considered a little more playful,
right?
Not as serious, not, black and white professional.
Right.
But you have to have that at the end of the day. And I've thought of that. I'm a little more playful when I do public speaking. And sometimes I wonder, do I need to button it up a little more? But as I watch others, I find those that have personality tend to be the ones that are remembered.
Yes.
And so, same with you, that high energy and it is so important, honestly. And this role is perfect. And, having shared that with me, that's interesting, because we'll talk a little about the foundation and its mission in a minute, but all of those things you had to have to really understand how to do a lot of good for the community, which at the end of the day is what the foundation does. In the community, oftentimes we will drive down any road and see banks and we'll see credit unions, and not the average person understands what the difference is between the two. So what is the difference between a credit union and a bank?
Yeah, I've been a member with our credit union back when it was CFE, Federal Credit Union. I didn't know what the difference between a bank and credit union is. Just my dad told me you need to be in a credit union, not a bank. I'm like, okay, Dad, that's what you told me to do. But now I have a much deeper understanding, hopefully, yeah. And a bank and a credit union, yes, they are financial institutions. They both have rates and loans and money markets and savings. But with a credit union, I'm actually owner of the credit union. It's a not-for-profit. So unlike a bank that has shareholders, our members actually benefit from being a part of it because we get better rates, we get lower savings, like higher savings rates. So we get to be a part of it. And I think that's why the foundation is really important too, because our members are giving into the foundation and then we get to give back on their behalf. So it really is a really cool business
well, that
model.
Would explain the union, you know,
yes,
the
exactly.
Union and the word. Where
And then credit unions are all very collaborative amongst each other. So we have credit union friends all over the country that if like I have a question about something, I can call somebody up in California and be like, oh yeah, this is what we did. And it's the most collaborative work I've ever had.
You spoke a little about the foundation and what's the official mission of the Addition Financial Foundation?
Yeah, our mission is to give back to the community that created us, essentially. So we give back to organizations like the NEC that give back.
We're so grateful
for.
Oh,
we love you guys who give back so much to our small business community, because our community can't thrive without small business. So we really, our foundation is all about, we do scholarships for high school students and college students. We are renovating needs pantries at schools all around the Central Florida community. We give unrestricted funds for grants for small to mid-sized nonprofits, and then on top of that we give financial education and networking opportunities and exposure. So really we want to not just give funds and then be like, bye. Yeah. I think you can attest that we really are a one-stop, like wanting to bring the community together.
So you, under your role, if I remember correctly, you have launched a number of initiatives from the foundation that truly engage employees of the credit union, and many of them are tied to volunteerism. Why was that important, and how do you decide what organizations you volunteer your time with?
Yeah, one of my big pushes that now being the executive director of the foundation is how do I engage not only our membership but our team membership, because we're all about community members, team members. And we at our credit union get 16 hours, 2 days of volunteering we can give to any nonprofit in Central Florida.
So repeat that, how many hours?
We get 16 hours of volunteer work.
Wow.
That we can pick for whatever nonprofit. Wow. So I was like, well, let's take that and then tie it into the nonprofits we already are partnered with. So every quarter I've developed a team member volunteering event, and that ties back to one of our grant recipients. So we give back with time, we give back with funds, and last year we doubled the amount of volunteering we did as a credit union. So it was really a proud sentiment, and our team, when we put one of those out, our team member, and within 10 minutes it's full. 30 plus people. It's
amazing.
It is.
Well, and it says a lot for the organization wanting to give back to the community, not only in the form of treasure, but also its time, but it's from an entrepreneur standpoint, it's paying it forward, and it's that visibility within the community, and it's still providing for those, you know, that genuinely can use the help. So it hits so many different buckets, and in addition to being a feel-good activity. So how does your organization decide on how you distribute your treasure? How do you distribute your grants?
This is so fun. Now, I cannot take any credit for this because this was established before I became the ED, but we actually only select grant recipients from our team members' nominations. So again, it goes goes back to encouraging our community members, our members, and our team members. So our team members actually nominate the nonprofits that they themselves are passionate about, and then our board selects the however many we're going to support that year.
You've interacted now with the NEC for a couple of years.
Yes!
And so what's one of the things that has stood out the most in your interactions with us?
I have a couple. So I didn't know about NEC until this process. So again, it's all about like, my whole tagline is no more best kept secrets. So learning about the NEC was mind blowing. And then taking a tour of the NEC and learning how many resources and how it truly is a one-stop shop. Like anybody could walk in there, your team is incredible. Just even starting with Monique at the desk, like everybody is so kind. And it's just, for someone who's starting out or in the country, just moved here from a different place, just learning all the ins and outs of starting a new business, you guys can go there and you educate them and you help them through the process. And I can't imagine being an entrepreneur without an organization like yours. Like it's got to be like 1,000 times more challenging.
It is truly a national model, and we get visited by delegations not only within the U.S. but internationally, trying to replicate what we do. So we're very proud of the ecosystem that we've built, and are excited when we get visited and have individuals like yourself that come help champion and spread the word. So what's the best business advice you've ever been given or that you give?
This one's gonna sound strange, so hold on to your pickleball rack. So when I first started teaching, I had no teaching experience. And my team teacher, who was the entrepreneurship teacher, told me, you have to be more stubborn than they are.
You have to be more stubborn than they are.
Yes, and at the time, I had a really challenging student, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, you have to be more stubborn than they are. And I was like, oh, okay. And it has taken me, like, even just recently when we changed our Renovate to Educate model from redoing classrooms to redoing pantries, people doubted it. They didn't understand. And in my head, I could hear them say, you have to be more stubborn than they are, because like just keep plowing through, because I'm a people pleaser. I know, shocker. And I was so easily been like, okay, if you guys don't think this is gonna work, let's not try it. So you have to be more stubborn than they are.
Even as an entrepreneur, you've gotta be true to yourself and keep, as you said, keep plowing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so we're at Katie Way. One of the courts freed up so we can actually play pickleball. So tell me a little about what this green area is.
So a pickleball court is smaller than a tennis court, and then it also has this area here in front of the net. It's called the kitchen. And we want to stay out of the kitchen, which is fine by me. I hate cooking, so I'm good about staying out of the kitchen.
Eating,
so you can only get in the kitchen if the ball has bounced in the kitchen, and then you can go. They just don't want you to be up here and just slamming the ball all the time.
So you stay in the blue boxes, and now is it like tennis where you've got to bounce once before, or?
Yes, so you have to serve on the diagonal, and it can only bounce once on your side.
And it can bounce on the green or on the blue. So
as long as you can go in the kitchen, as long as it bounced.
In there.
Yep.
Okay,
that's really it.
Let's do this.
You got this. We got it. There you go. All right.
Okay, so you're going to serve it. It's got to bounce once on this side, and then it's got to bounce on your side once, and then we don't have to worry about bouncing unless we want it. Got it.
So you always start by calling the score, but since we're just going to volley back and forth, I'm just going to serve it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So mine has to hit in your box over there on diagonally. So here we go. Ooh. All right, so you got to hit a little harder than that. It takes some time.
Okay.
All right, so if you're going to serve it, you have to serve it behind the line.
Okay, so behind the line.
Yep, and then you have to serve it to me over here.
Okay, now there's wind, so.
Wind is, wind's a factor.
Oh.
Okay. I got it.
I didn't even get over the net. This is sad.
This is only your first time. Give yourself some grace.
We'll see if it's first and last, but.
No, you're going to love it. All right, here we go. Oh, that was deep.
Ah.
Let me serve it not so deep.
Okay, it feels like a ping pong pallet.
A little bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah,
it's actually pickleball. I did some research, and it was created in the 60s in Washington State by 3 dads that wanted to keep their kids busy over the summer. So
and not have to figure out a big court.
Oh, almost.
This is not obviously the sport for Belinda.
Here, you try
This is why
serving
we
it.
run, because you can't mess that up.
See, I can't run.
Last one.
Okay. Almost!
No forearm strains. Christina,
You're doing great!
thank you for doing this today with us. This
you.
was fun. I appreciate it.
I hope you fell in love with pickleball a little bit.
A little bit. I'll give you that. Thank you for watching this episode of NEC Suites. Thank you, Cristina, for Addition Financial's foundation support of our community and of the NEC. And as we wrap up with our line, start or grow your business, make connections, NEC the possibilities. Thank you for watching.